But the thing about the Fever opening up a new practice facility that stands out to me is it's yet again another message about how serious the organization is taking itself after the boom they got from drafting Caitlin Clark and her rookie WNBA season. The Fever are the most popular team in the league by a mile. It cannot be argued. Caitlin Clark is the most popular player in the league by a mile. It cannot be argued. They made it to the playoffs, and they decided, you know what, that wasn't good enough. We are flipping the entire...
The Indiana Fever just made a huge move, and this could be the turning point. Get ready, because they're not just trying to bounce back. They're focused on building a strong future.
As the CEO of Pacer Sports Entertainment, I couldn't be more excited for both our men's and our women's teams to have their own standalone practice facilities. I think it's expanding our campus in a great way. It's providing them everything they need to have the best performance that they can on the court. And I think it's absolutely the right time to do it.
The Indiana Fever, a team with a rich history, is going all in to reclaim their place at the top of the WNBA. But with the competition for star players like Caitlin Clark getting tougher, what's their strategy? Introducing their brand new $78 million, cutting-edge training facility, designed to take professional athletics to a whole new level.
Mics.
Yeah, I have like 3 mics on right.
This isn't just any facility, it's a game changer. Spanning an incredible 18,000 square feet, the Fever's new headquarters is built to boost player performance at every level. We're talking top-of-the-line weights and conditioning gear, first-class workout spaces, and luxury amenities. From infrared technology to saunas, and yes, even a nail salon, because peak performance starts with total wellness.
Goals for this new training center is really to provide a first-in-class training center that is designed exclusively for women athletes. And I think that's important to note because it's not just a gym. It's a holistic approach to how women athletes train.
The Fever is focusing on more than just physical training. They're also prioritizing the mental and emotional well-being of their players. This facility will include dedicated spaces for podcasting, giving players a chance to speak out, connect with fans, and grow their brands off the court. It's not just a gym, it's a space for personal growth. Now, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. The sharpshooter everyone's talking about isn't just a player, she's a phenomenon. And let's be real, what could be more appealing to Caitlin than a franchise that's investing in her future both on and off the court? This facility isn't just a selling point, it's a commitment. A commitment that the Fever is serious about building a dynasty with Caitlin at the center. Here's the big twist, this state-of-the-art facility is set to open in 2027, just as Caitlin Clark will be hitting her prime. Not a coincidence, right? The Fever are clearly playing the long game, and this move sends a clear message to the entire league. Indiana is ready to dominate. As the Fever plans for this game-changing future, the contract situations of their top stars are looking pretty interesting. Let's start with Aaliyah Boston. By the time the new facility opens in 2027, her contract will be up. That's definitely a storyline to keep an eye on. But here's the real kicker, Caitlin Clark, the future of women's basketball, will still have 1 year left on her rookie contract if she joins the league soon. That overlap could be the perfect opportunity for the Fever to make their mark and dominate. Speaking of dominance, Indiana just made a bold move by signing Kelsey Mitchell to a 1-year Supermax contract worth $250,000. To put that into perspective, Kelsey is only the 5th player in WNBA history to earn this honor. The Fever are making it clear, Kelsey is essential to their future. By locking her in for another year, the team not only secures their star scorer but also keeps their options open. If Mitchell ever decides to leave, Indiana could trade her for valuable draft picks. But let's be honest, it's unlikely Kelsey will want to leave. Why? Because the Fever are building something special, and Mitchell knows it. This big contract isn't just about the money, it's a symbol of trust, loyalty, and the team's commitment to its stars. It's clear that Indiana isn't just putting together a team, they're creating a legacy.
Their role, especially if it's going to be primary defender, is important.
Mitchell, a three, good, the foul, a chance for 4.
And Kelsey Mitchell led.
This strategy isn't just about securing key players, it's about building a culture of excellence. By investing in Mitchell and setting the stage for players like Caitlin Clark, the Fever are sending a clear message to the league: they're here to win, and they're in it for the long haul. With high draft picks potentially on the table and the Supermax spotlight on Kelsey Mitchell, the Indiana Fever's front office is making every move count.
Cleaned out the front office, brought in a whole new front office, and now are renovating everything around the organization because they know they have a chance to be not just a prominent organization within the WNBA, but a prominent organization within sports, period.
Picture this: Caitlin Clark teaming up with a seasoned Aaliyah Boston, while Kelsey Mitchell keeps sinking threes. Add in the league's most advanced facility and a roster full of potential, and you've got a dynasty in the making. The Fever are gearing up to take over the WNBA, and this is just the beginning.
Honey,
Just for that read, deadly from behind.
an 11-0 run for New York. Clark, another.
The Indiana Fever are making moves that could completely reshape the WNBA. With their stars secured, a new state-of-the-art facility on the way, and the possibility of landing Caitlin Clark, this team is primed to be unstoppable. What do you think? Could the Fever dominate the league in the years to come? One thing's for sure: the Fever is rising.
This is going to be the best in class when it comes to a women's professional training facility. And not just the day that it opens. We're going to set this up and think about this as the best in class.
Fans are buzzing with excitement as the Indiana Fever keep dropping bombshells. Between the groundbreaking new training facility, contract extensions, and signings, it's clear the Fever are in it to win it. But here's the kicker: they're not just making moves, they've got the financial firepower to back it up. With their current wage structure, Indiana has extra cap space to bring in some of the league's top talent. And one name that's been getting a lot of attention? Satu Sabally. Sabally is a rising star and could be a game-changer for any team. A max contract might be on the table for her. But here's where it gets interesting: the New York Liberty, one of the Fever's biggest rivals, may not be able to match that offer. With Sabrina Ionescu, Brianna Stewart, and Jonquil Jones already on max deals, the Liberty would need to trade assets and thin out their bench just to stay competitive. So, what does this mean for the Fever? It means they're in a prime position to attract top talent and build a roster that could finally challenge the WNBA's reigning champions. With stars like Kelsey Mitchell locked in, Aaliyah Boston potentially returning, and the possibility of Caitlin Clark joining, adding someone like Sabally could be the final piece to take the Fever to the next level. Imagine a lineup with these powerhouse players, all fueled by a state-of-the-art facility. This is how dynasties are made.
9 of 13 shooting.
12 assists, Seattle.
Clark is the first one of the game.
But it's not just about Indiana. The real question now is, how will other teams keep up? The Liberty and Aces have dominated in recent years, but their cap space is stretched thin, with star players already locked into max deals. Meanwhile, Indiana has the resources and the strategy to build a deep, balanced team. The Fever aren't just relying on big names, they're focusing on chemistry and depth, creating a roster that's well-rounded and ready to compete at the highest level.
Break point.
Hot three.
Around women's basketball, they understand their end, what it has done, and how.
Fans can feel it. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a revolution. The Fever aren't just trying to compete, they're positioning themselves to dominate. With the league evolving and the stakes getting higher, Indiana is making sure they're ahead of the curve. The question isn't whether they'll challenge the WNBA's top teams, but how soon they'll take the throne.
From all of the weight and conditioning equipment, obviously we'll have 2 full-size courts. It'll be available 24/7 for them to come and utilize it, but also just the best in recovery, the best in mental health, places for them to be able to also record content, podcasts, and other things that they may have to go off-site and waste time doing things like that. So they can really maximize their time spent focusing on their performance and not.
The Indiana Fever aren't just focused on the present, they're playing the long game. Their strategy is clear: total domination of the WNBA. This isn't about one championship run, it's about building a dynasty that will reshape the league for years to come. And at the heart of this plan is shrewd management and a tactical mastermind in head coach Stephanie White, who's already leading the Fever toward a brighter future.
Future players, it is, we are in the midst of WNBA free agency about to come up. We're the place that you want to be. And if I was a player in the WNBA, I would probably want a part of that Fever as well.
Stephanie White brings a perfect mix of experience, vision, and tactical brilliance to the Fever. She knows the modern game inside and out, how to bring out the best in her players, and, most importantly, how to build a winning culture. Under her leadership, the Fever isn't just putting together a roster, they're creating a legacy. From developing young stars to integrating seasoned veterans, White is shaping Indiana into a team built to stand the test of time.
More than anything, we want to continue to be exactly what they are, a fun, fast-paced, up-tempo style of play. They're sharing the basketball, making teammates better, building quality depth. I always said this as a coach the last 2 years, but with this team as well, it's a long season. And next season, 44 games. We want to get a quality rotation. We want to put the best players who play well together on the floor in a consistent rotation.
Part of playing the long game is building the infrastructure to support greatness. Indiana has invested in a massive $78 million, 18,000 square foot training facility that sends a clear message to the rest of the league. They might as well call it the House of Clark, especially with Caitlin Clark in their sights. Set to open in 2027, this state-of-the-art complex isn't just a gym, it's a statement. It's designed to boost every aspect of a player's performance and lifestyle, making it clear that the Fever aren't just here to win, they're here to stay.
Franchise has always been about players. It's always been about basketball. And it's about anything we can do to help the player become the best they can be. This is really a huge example and an opportunity to show the rest of the league and the world and that's involved in women's sports what it.
The WNBA may have missed the chance to fully capitalize on Caitlin Clark's commercial appeal, but the Indiana Fever are wasting no time. In this city, Clark knows just how much they love her, and the Fever are ready to ride that wave. By combining visionary leadership with elite resources, Indiana is laying the groundwork for long-term dominance. They're not just building for today, they're building for the future. With a sharp focus on player development, strategic signings, and a roster packed with potential, the Fever are positioning themselves as a powerhouse. The key? Patience and precision. Under Stephanie White's leadership, Indiana is showing the league how to play chess while everyone else is stuck playing checkers.
It's an unbelievable day for the Indiana Fever. Another step for our franchise, again, to make this the best franchise in the world.
Toward Indianapolis becoming the epicenter of women's sports, having professional women's sports teams and having dedicated training facilities for them is really a key piece of putting that together.